Okay, so you're a whale. Eating krill, plankton, and fish, you fertilize the ocean floor with your feces. Swimming down deep, and then back up again, you stir the ocean's nutrients, enabling phytoplankton to create half of Earth's oxygen. A living ecosystem, migrating hundreds of miles, you carry unique barnacle species, only found living on your skin. If you are a blue whale, you are not only the largest animal alive, but the largest animal to ever live, with a tongue that weighs as much as an elephant. If you are a sperm whale, using echolocation, you can hunt from a mile away. If you are a minke whale, then you've learned to use boats as a defensive tool against orcas. Incredible in so many ways, whales of all kinds are considered a keystone species, meaning their presence, or lack thereof, plays a critical role in the health of an ecosystem. But of course, you are not a whale. Incredible in your own right, your history involves the invention of things never before seen, in no small part because we were crazy enough to hunt whales. Their oil lit our streets and lubricated our machines. Their bones enhanced fashion. Their feces gave us perfume. Everything from cooking to war. Our commodification of whales changed the world forever. It's 1712, out on far and away land. A windy and stormy day on this isolate island, there was a man and his crew out looking for whales. Humpback whales, right whales, maybe a seal or two. But the winds were great, and they were thrown miles offshore. Far outside their range, they spotted a peculiar creature. Already equipped for the hunt, the sea turned red. As the waves calmed and the blood cleared, they soon recognized this creature to be a sperm whale. They were ecstatic. Or so the story goes. In truth, the details seem lost to history. But one thing is certain. This island, more commonly known as Nantucket Island, and this event, however it happened, would go on to change the world. Harpooned, shot in their lungs, chased for hours, and slowly drowning in their own blood. Across the Atlantic, whales could be sold for a high price, especially the sperm whale. Their oil made for the best lighting, and their spermaceti, a waxy substance within their heads, made the best candles. And now, knowing their location, the whalers of Nantucket would risk their lives for the hunt. A hunt that would make them rich. Their economy and culture changed from farming to whaling. Bedtime stories told the tales of whales and their slaughter. Women would not marry a man who had never killed a whale before. And for the European settlers who now owned this land, came the belief that all of this was ordained to them by God. Killing so many whales and selling so much oil that by the mid-1700s, this island was the whaling capital of the world. It's the 1800s, and across the Western world, the sperm whale is thought of as a vile creature, eating all the fish in the sea, and, whenever possible, men, and even their ships. At times, this was true. destroying boats in self-defense, it was not uncommon for a whaler to die whilst hunting them. Not eaten, but left stranded, freezing to death. But it was really us who were the vile creatures. To hunt a sperm whale in this era meant the targeting of their babies. New to this earth, they need to breach to breathe more often. Harpooned and screaming out in pain, the pod comes to help. Not just the mother, but their community at large. The entire crew now focused, they shot and chased whichever they could. If it was a female, from an all-female and children pod, their child and her companions would remain around her body for hours, in mourning, in desperation, and disbelief. It's 1835, and Thomas Biol has spent the past few years witnessing all this. Surprised no one else seems as fascinated by these creatures as he is, he writes a book and publishes his studies on the sperm whale, revealing their intelligence, their compassion, and, not knowing this at the time, but also proving why they were hunted much less than other whales. Possessing the largest brain on the planet, sperm whales have advanced communication, teaching each other, greeting newborns, sending distress signals, and who knows, maybe even humor. After being hunted for some time, sperm whales learned to swim against the wind, making our ships futile. They learned to avoid humans, to avoid ships, and then they taught each other. With only a 3% success rate in the Pacific Ocean, the glorious sperm whale had adapted to humans. And it worked for many decades. But now, it's 1860, and Sven Foyn wants to be rich. Working in the seas his whole life, he decides to get into whaling. It's 1863 in Norway, and Sven transforms the industry with his new steam engine boat. It's 1870, and he patents the explosive harpoon gun. Whalers can now harpoon with greater power, at greater depth, and at farther distances. Foyn meets his goal and becomes the richest man in Norway. It's 1903, and the Norwegian whaling industry invents the first factory ship. Whales could now be processed on board. Powerful weapons and powerful ships. The entire ocean was now fair game. Across every sea, whalers killed and killed. Seals, orcas, anything with blubber, killed. Finally, concerns start to grow, and 15 years of international effort result in the Convention for the Regulation of Whaling. But the world was just at war, for the second time. In this same year, to replenish supplies, in 1946, 43,000 whales were killed. But 2 years later, the International Whaling Commission is born, a governing body comprised of almost every major whaling nation. Regulations and laws were put in place, and things were looking up. However, it was not the whales they had in mind, but rather the whaling industry. Their goal was, in their own words, to provide for the proper conservation of whale stocks, and thus make possible the orderly development of the whaling industry. After a brief hiatus, whaling again took off. This time with an internationally organized approach. Ships and nations had zones, seasonal migrations were taken into account, and no part of the ocean was left unchecked. All in all, it's estimated around 3 million large whales were killed during the 20th century. It's 1977, and a sound, normally found in the ocean, gets shot into space. The sound of a humpback whale. Alongside other sounds and songs from this planet, the Voyager Golden Record floats through space, and will continue to for 1 billion years. In the hope that some extraterrestrial life finds it, listens to it, and is as moved by it as Frank Watlington was back in the 1950s. It's the Cold War, and Watlington is paid to listen for Soviet submarines off the coast of Bermuda. But he instead found himself captivated by an unfamiliar sound. Whatever it was, to him it sounded ancient, complex, and worth saving. In time, he would realize that this was a humpback whale. And after the war, would send these recordings to a friend, Dr. Roger Payne, who, in 1970, converted these songs into an album that became one of many sparks to light the fire of the environmental movement, Save the Whales. Not just at home, but everywhere on Earth. News of whale declines sparked public outrage, leading to the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act, both of which have been irreplaceable in the fight to protect wildlife globally. By 1979, the entire Indian Ocean had been designated as a whale sanctuary. A moratorium on factory ships was placed, with the weird exception of minke whales, and by 1986, all but 3 countries had stopped commercial whaling. Today, Iceland, Japan, Russia, and Norway still hunt whales, with Norway hunting the most. But now, whales of all kinds face many threats. Vessel collisions, fishing entanglement, ocean acidification. Too many of them are under threat or close to extinction. But the moral of the story is, as of right now, without proper respect, we're on track for the only whale song to ever be heard again is currently floating in space, a mere 15 billion miles away from us.
Watch it. Watch it. Okay. Film it. Film it.